fine.
Yeah, but yeah,
You sure?
It's got a pretty. It's pretty.
You like the ambience here with the light? Because
You know, I was just saying, like, that's what is making this documentary. There's a lot of professional stuff mixed in with,
Sure.
you know,
Sure.
and bad light and all that kind of stuff is going to play a part.
The Blair Witch.
Exactly. It's got that syndrome in it.
Now I'm going to give us some sound here, George, and it may just blast out at us.
Update on the markets yesterday. The TSC 300 rose more than 87 points. The Dow rose nearly 111, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq climbed to nearly 46.
Awesome. Great. Could
And
you get
in
a minute?
Tokyo, the Nikkei dropped
We have a
34
theme song
points
by
at this
Tribute
morning's
Band,
close.
Street and Spice and everything.
From the broadcast
they did a song
business
for
desk,
us,
I'm
which
Nina
is
Chandler.
very...
Oh, really?
Yeah. Can you get a minute? Maybe have a couple of minutes.
Okay, I don't know how we can play that, though.
No, not during the thing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Afterwards.
Oh, excellent. All right. That's great.
Flashing ice cream with 1,000 bits of glass and twisted metal on a dark stretch of Highway 17. Think of any other winter sounds? Think safety first. The safety of Subaru all-wheel drive.
What a ham spread.
We call it McValue, and you can only get it at McDonald's.
And if you swear, I can edit it over here. I've got my dump button.
And participate in McDonald's.
It's the way the sun makes every snowflake smile. Even the perfect trim of a piece of wood.
Caller line one
looks brand new.
Okay, Bill, does the caller know we have the guest? Okay, one of your...
You'll find comfort in our color choices. Pratt and Lambert full moon, iris and silver lining.
It's only morning open line. The Rick Smith Show. Call 345-TALK. That's 345-8255. Opinions expressed by the host, guests, or callers do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of this station. Here's your host, Rick Smith.
Well, hello, good morning, and welcome to this, a Thursday, December 28th, the year 2000 edition of the Rick Smith Show. We have a guest in our studio, and as we normally do when we play host, we ask you to restrict your calls, your questions, your comments to the area of discussion that our guest is here to involve himself in. 345-TALK, 345-8255, star 580 on the Thunder Bay Mobility Network. And if you're calling long distance, call collect. We'll pay the bill. The area code, if you need it, is 807, and the number is the same, 345-TALK. Plugs you into our guest, George Marcello, who has been getting a great deal of press since his arrival here in Thunder Bay. The Thunder Bay Post headlines, Cross Canada Trek to raise awareness of organ and tissue donations. The Chronicle Journal headline, Organ Donation, a question of life and death. And if I may read from a column penned in the Thunder Bay Post by Frank Puglia, George Marcello's life was saved by an organ transplant when he only had 2 days to live. A very dramatic story that George Marcello has to tell. Let's talk about George Marcello, if we may, rather than the cause that you're here to promote. That is a tremendously dramatic story. 2 days to live, and you were aware of that at the time, or did they tell you later?
Well, good morning, Thunder Bay. Actually, I was getting myself prepared for that eventual day. 3 years earlier before that, I was diagnosed with terminal liver disease. That was in '92, and it was during a regular medical checkup, and I came away with the news that half my liver was getting eaten away by a virus, and they told me that I probably had about 3 years left to live at that point.
Wow.
And there was no treatment or cure, as is the case with most liver diseases. So, and they told me my only possible hope was a transplant. And after discovering all the grim realities of transplants in Canada, my hopes didn't brighten up that much more.
Yes, exactly.
So on that day, August of '95, that was like the third time that year that I was driven to the hospital with liver failure. It was probably my final episode, and I was told that I probably have a couple of days left to live, and I think I pretty well got myself adjusted to the fact that
you were about to die.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, at that time, were you aware of a frantic search for a liver?
I was aware of the system, you know, what system was put in place. I knew that when you became the sickest, and you know, in a situation like mine, I would be moved to the front of the line, which is our system here in Canada. So, you know, I knew that that's what was taking place at that point. But I also met, Rick, a lot of people that were on the waiting list and in a similar situation, and they got rushed to the hospital and were put to the front of the list and passed away. I met many people. So.
And also, George, you would probably have had an opportunity to meet some people that you passed in the lineup to be placed at the head of that line that you knew were right behind you.
That's right. That's right. And you know, it's sort of I don't know. It's the there's kind of a camaraderie that's built.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and we all know what we're going through. You know, and we all know that one day we're going to get rushed to the hospital because our organ's going to fail, whether it's a heart, whether it's a lung, and that we're going to be put in the front of the line, and you know, we all know that that day's going to come sooner or later for us. And you know, like I said, you try and adjust to the reality, and you know, do the best that you can.
So somewhere, someone passed away and had signed a card that enabled them to donate that person's liver to you. You have no idea who that was.
No, I have no.
You're hesitating.
Yeah, because what happens is, you know, when you're waking up in the hospital after the surgery and everything, there's a bit of talk around the hospital about where it possibly could have come from.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have a feeling of where it might have come from.
Oh, isn't that fascinating?
So,
but you can't pursue
I cannot pursue that. I am keeping that within, you know, my know, and my thoughts, and you know, and I'm actually trying to change that.
Yes, and I want to address that. But first of all, let's establish that Canada has a pretty lousy record when it comes to organ donations.
Yes, they do.
Any reason why? Is it they pinpointed a?
I think it comes down to two areas. We as a country have not embraced the spirit of organ transplantation. We have not accepted that it's a cure, and we have not done all the proper things needed to. Well, our government has hesitated to have this at the forefront as a priority, and they have not done the proper things needed to do to go about and making an increase. So as a result, we don't have a lot of education and awareness brought to Canadians about this. And I'm sure that if there was the proper education and the proper awareness brought to each Canadian and the right system, things would dramatically change in this country.
You've met Gary Cooper?
Yes, I have. I had the pleasure.
One look at that face, that smiling face, and there's no doubt about the curative impact of transplants.
Yes.
Because I saw Gary just before he went down to Toronto for his transplant. And that's not the same face I'm looking at today, that's for sure.
That's correct. And you'll probably see that in most recipients, you know, from very, very drastically sick and
that's right.
To miraculously healthy.
Yeah. Bill, do I have to take a break here? I don't? Okay, then I'll turn to a caller who's been waiting patiently on line number 1. Good morning, caller. Hello.
Hi, Alicia.
Okay, Alicia, can you really speak up because we're having a hard time hearing you here? That's better. Okay, go ahead. You say it's important for people to know about them.